Hello, I'm making an update video about my sciatica that I was experiencing for about 6+ months. I previously made videos about going to chiropractors, massages, medication, and lots of different things. The only thing I didn't try out of everything is physical therapy, but I tried ice packs, lidocaine, menthol, biofreeze, 4 different medications, everything. And then my doctor never told me that I could get an epidural injection with steroids in my back. I have an L5S1 herniation, large herniation. But anyways, my doctor never mentioned it, but all my research on Reddit and YouTube and everything led me to believe that it might be beneficial to look into that. So I scheduled that with the doctor. My insurance, they actually never told me about my insurance coverage. So I assumed it was covered because I had done everything else except for physical therapy. And then the morning of my injection, which they treat like an operation, my insurance came back with a denial. So I had to come out of pocket $800 for that. So I was like, oh my gosh, everyone says that it either works or it doesn't. It's like a 50-50 chance. I was like, please work, because I was in so much pain. I couldn't drive. I couldn't lay down. The worst problem I was having was laying down at all in any way, shape, or form. Walking was less painful than laying down. It was terrible. I wasn't getting any sleep for about 6 months. I slept like maybe 30 total hours over 6 months. It was miserable. Whew. Anyways, okay, so the morning of, I said, just put me in, coach. I want to do the epidural injection. I was at my last resort. I didn't even have the money. So I just told them I'll pay half now and half later if that's okay. And they said that's okay. So thankfully I was able to do that. I think I got a loan even for it because I was just so desperate. I'm a single mom, so I don't, I couldn't just fork over $800 that easily. So anyways, I went in for that. They didn't tell me exactly what kind it was going to be. They just said it was a steroid epidural injection on the site where my herniation is. So when I was getting prepped, it was like 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes of prep time. And the nurses, I was like, I'm a little bit nervous. Is it painful to get this injection? And I was in so much pain that it kind of didn't matter to me, but they were like, oh, nobody ever like cries or anything. So no, it's not really painful. It's like getting a shot, but in your back. And I was like, okay, great, because I'm fine with shots. Well, they didn't tell me it was a caudal, C-A-U-D-A-L, caudal injection, which means like here's the top of your like butt crack, your tailbone. They go an inch below that and they inject a long needle into your back from that area. It was painful is not even the word to describe it. It was like it was like a burning terrible sensation. I don't even know how to describe it. It was so painful. So afterwards I was like, okay, it's done. The pain only lasted for 5 minutes or less, thankfully. And then like recovery time was a full day and night, and I couldn't drive the next day either. So, but I could walk, But I didn't notice any effects, like good effects from it, for like the first 3 days. And then 3 days in, I was like, oh, I can actually drive. If I adjust my seat like this and this and this, I can drive with like a level 7 pain instead of 10 pain. So I was like, okay, I have like what I was saying is about a 10% reduction in pain. Well, another week goes by, because they say it can take 10 to 14 days for the steroid to kick in and reduce your inflammation. It doesn't fix the herniation. It just takes a while to kick in for reducing the swelling of your herniation. So anyway, I waited the full 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, it didn't work. You know, I was just really upset. I was at 10% less pain, but still couldn't sleep, drive, walking was painful. I couldn't sit down. I have a desk job, and that was really hard because I would just have to stand at my desk. I do have a standing desk at work, thankfully, but it was annoying having to just walk around or stand all day long. And I was just tired anyways because I wasn't sleeping. So it was terrible. So I was still hopeful because I have a strong faith in God. So I just kept praying. I was like, God, it's not working. I spent all this money I don't have. I can't sleep. And I was just like, please, I just want to be able to sleep and, you know, get some rest. Even if it doesn't last forever, just please, I need some relief, you know. And so about 3 weeks total after the injection, I started noticing less and less pain. And then one night, going to bed, I didn't put any biofreeze on, and I didn't take my nighttime medicine. So I went to sleep, and then I woke up in the morning 10 hours later, and I was like, I don't think I took any medicine last night. And I had a little bit of pain waking up because I was on my side, which is like the most painful thing, and it's my preferred way to sleep. But anyways, I realized I didn't do ice, I didn't do heat, I didn't do the biofreeze, I didn't take any medicine, nothing. And I was able to sleep 10 hours. I was shocked and amazed and happy, so happy. So then every day since then, it got a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. Now it's been, I'd say, it's been a month and a half. And the only pain I have, I would say I'm at a level 1 pain now, which is so exciting. I could almost cry. It's really amazing. Anyways, so I'm gonna have to edit this out because I'm emotional, because I'm just so freaking happy. If you have sciatica and you know that pain, you know exactly how it would feel to not have it anymore and get your life back. So anyway, so the only pain I have now is a little bit of pain in my right leg if I don't take my meloxicam every morning. So I missed 5 days of meloxicam. Well, I missed it / wanted to drink because I was, it was like my only time to go out by myself, single mother, you know. I only drink like twice a year. And so I was like, I want to go out and have some drinks, and you're not supposed to drink with meloxicam. So anyway, I stopped taking it 3 days before I was going to go out for the weekend. So because it has to be out of your system totally. Something about interacting with your liver or your kidneys, something like that. It's not good. So anyway, I was totally fine when I drove back from the trip. I drove the whole way just fine there and back, and then went to sleep when I got home. The next morning I was like, oh, my pain in my right leg is pretty bad right now. It wasn't unbearable, but it was like a level 5. So going from a 1 to a 5, I was a little scared. And then I was like, oh, it's the meloxicam. So I just took it in the morning, and then a day and a half later, the pain was gone again. So anyways, I just wanted to update with my experience. I might have to cut this video down because I talk too much. But I wanted to update with that because I tried everything except for physical therapy, because I tried to do stretches on my own, and even the most basic, most simple stretches were hurting me more. So I didn't think it was worth time and money to do physical therapy because I was in such a bad state. So anyway, I know people say that the epidural injection is 50-50. For me, it worked 100%. And if you're at the level that I was at, and your insurance will probably cover it, because I have Aetna, they're terrible. I'm in Texas, so I have Aetna, and it's really bad. Like it's really hard to get anything approved. My doctor had scheduled me for surgery and denied it 3 times, even though my doctor wrote to my insurance and did interviews. I forgot what they're called. It's like a medial, I forgot what it's called when the doctor has an insurance with the doctor. My doctor has a meeting with my insurance doctor, who specializes in, orthopedic surgery or just orthopedics in general. So he had 2 meetings. There was 3 claims. Every time I went through a phase of something and it didn't work, they resubmitted. And then after the 2.5 weeks that the epidural injection I thought did not work, they submitted it again. And then they submitted again after that, because they think, because I feel great now, it can still come back because it doesn't last forever, the injection. And my insurance denied it 3 times. So anyways, if you're at your last resort, I would try and get the epidural injection. And if you can afford it, just pay out of pocket. And if you can't, your insurance should cover it. If you have Blue Cross Blue Shield or a similar good insurance, then it should cover it. And then your fee, I think if it's covered, I think your fee is only like $100. And that's just goes to the doctor. It's not even the medication. That should be covered 100% from what I was reading online. So anyways, sorry for the long video. I'm going to try to edit. I'm not good at editing videos or anything. But if you have any questions, let me know. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. And prayers for anybody going through this terrible pain. Okay, thanks. Bye.